hear that? It's like the pulse of the street, a hole in the chest. the street, a hole in the chest.
Yo! What up, my people? Welcome back to another live stream episode with your boy Radical. You know, the Radical Latino show. What is going on? I hope everybody's doing great. I hope everybody's doing wonderful. I hope everybody is copacetic and beautiful and doing your thing and all of that good stuff, blah. All right, I want to give a huge shout out to everybody watching right now. Nobody has commented, but it's all good. Everybody watching right now. Remember, after every live stream, I'm definitely gonna have the little timestamps or whatever the case is, you know, going down on the screen and all of that good stuff. But anyway, I hope everybody is doing great. Now, today we're going to be discussing something that a lot of people talk about, but a lot of people rarely see, or if you do see it, if you got Latino friends or Latino, neighbors or any Latino type of compadres or family, you probably seen this as well, right? The immigrant struggle, right? The immigrant struggle. And the reason why I say the immigrant struggle is because not only do Latinos do this, but African immigrants as well. Any other immigrant group that's trying to prosper in a place that is, notoriously known for prospering, you're gonna do things that is going to make it easier for yourself to prosper. You know what I'm saying? So, by the way, I've seen this whole thing on Twitter, and excuse me, hold on a moment. God damn it, my wife is calling. Give me 1 minute. Yeah, it's always good when your wife calls and when you're live, but it's all good. But anyway, I saw this thing on Twitter, and pretty much some FBA folks were putting this out there, trying to make fun of it, poke fun at 12, 15 Latinos living in a 2-bedroom house, which I've seen worse. I've seen 20 to 30 people living in a studio apartment. Okay, so I've seen worse. Imagine 20 people living in a studio apartment, not including kids. And when you include them kids, it jumps up to like 30 people. You know what I mean? So I've seen it worse, but usually, not all the time, but usually it's a strategy for economic empowerment, because there's like 20 something people living in a house. Either majority of the time are family members or are basically strangers, but they're all ethnically connected. They're strangers, but they have one common goal, is to prosper and have something better down the line. This is something that has been happening for a while. Now, Latinos have taken this one step further, and I've said this plenty of times in every other medium and stream and podcast episode. I've said this plenty of times that Latinos usually are in, living 20 deep, right? Paying cheap rent because everybody's putting in $50 or $100 to pay that rent, and they're just accumulating money to give to one person who do have citizenship and paperwork in the country to open up a business that everyone is going to benefit from. Everybody that puts in money is going to benefit from. Usually that's what it is. And I find it very interesting that immigrant groups have this drive. Immigrant Latinos have this hunger. And usually that hunger disappears around the first, second, even third generation. I don't see 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 10th generation Latinos here having that same hunger and drive. Usually they become extremely Americanized. They lose their culture back home, and that connection is lost, right? And become Americanized, wanting handouts, wanting I should just win the lotto or whatever the case is. That connection is usually lost, and I find it very, very interesting. I always wondered why. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, we're gonna first we're gonna see the Twitter post, right? We're gonna see the Twitter post real quick, and we're gonna break it down, right? We're gonna break it down. And right here, I even say, no lie, this is how most Latinos start off as. But guess what? The strategy works because in 2 years' time, we will own a business and have a house. The struggle is real in the beginning, right? So this little thing on TikTok went kind of viral because the guy was like, showing how many Latinos live in a 2-bedroom apartment. So let's go over it. And let me see if I can make it bigger. Okay. All right. Let's go over.
How many Latinos can fit in this 2-bedroom apartment?
3, 4, 5, 6. That one's in the bathroom. 7. 8. One in the bathroom. And then they're sleeping right there.
The last time I cooked.
And this is mine.
How many Latinos can fit in this 2-bedroom?
Well, there you go. Hold on. Even the guy that said it, he was filming. He was like, "This is mine. Check this out."
And this is mine.
Right? Listen, the struggle was real. So there's 15, right? And there was some FBA people making fun of it. Rightfully so. It is what it is. It's a funny thing because if you don't come from that or from there, you wouldn't know. It's totally cool, right? It is what it is. But like I said, Latinos don't only do this. Wait. Hold on. Okay, I want to make sure the levels are right. I just want to make sure the levels are right. Hold on, just want to make sure my levels are right before I get into this. Hold on, just want to make sure. All right. No, so I want to show that, right? Because that's a strategy. A lot of people don't know it. It could be funny. People poke fun of it. That's fine. Whatever. It is what it is, right? But it is a strategy nonetheless, right? Now, I even looked it up myself, and I come to find out, check this out, check this stat out. Hold on, let me just make it bigger real quick. Check the stat out. It says, for immigrant Latinos, the key findings are roughly 1.2 million of the 12.2 million business owners in the United States are immigrant Latinos. So immigrant Latinos are opening up businesses because it's a lot easier. Some of us get some help, not all. Some of us get some help, but it's a lot easier. And we could start becoming economically independent. Business ownership is a lot higher amongst immigrant Latinos in the U.S. born, and in fact is comparable to business ownership rates among non-Latino whites. So we are, economically more viable than other people. We're economically more viable than white folks. We're economically more viable than Asian folks when it comes to immigrants. And I even saw a little stat that immigrant Latinos are number one, and right next to us are Asians. So Asians are catching up fast. Asians are catching up fast. But this was a good study. Now, I even took it upon it a little bit more further, and I went to a website where it kind of breaks it down, right? Okay, yeah, it's a strategy of business owners. The number of U.S. businesses owned by Hispanics grew by more than 1 million. 1 million, 46.3% from 2.3. That's a lot. That's a lot. That's from 2007 to 2012, right? Now we're talking about modern times in 2023. It does get into those figures, but that's a lot, right? So it says Hispanic business ownership is defined by having people of Mexican, Puerto Rico, Cuban, and other Hispanic origins, such as Dominican and Salvadorian, owning more than 50% of stocking equity of non-farm businesses operating in the United States. And I like how they say non-farm, because we are getting into industries that are not only, you know, fresh produce or anything, or supermarkets, but we're getting into coffee. We're getting into not fast food, but casual fast food, restaurants. We're getting into bars. We're getting into stuff like that actually brings in a lot of money. And it says the rate has increased in recent Hispanic ownership. Firms also outpaced that all firms. Hispanic owned firms total to $473.6 billion in 2012. That says a lot. It just says a lot about our power and our economic growth. It does. And it pretty much breaks down how Latino ownership amongst the immigrant class has jump-started and skyrocketed from the very inception of Latinos coming here. Now, this is the thing. The figures of first, second, third, and fourth generation Latinos owning businesses go down. It goes from 50% with first generation Latinos to 35% on second generation, and it goes down and down and down. By the time you get to the fourth and fifth generation of immigrant Latinos, the ownership of businesses goes down to less than 1%. It says a lot. It says that not only these Latinos do become Americanized a lot faster, but that hunger, that quench, that hunger to actually be independently, economically independent goes away. Because immigrant Latinos come from a rough area. There's a reason why they come here, right? And not only when they come here and they actually do good for themselves, they give back to the country, you know, the United States and all that through taxes, but they have a hunger. They're like, hey, yo, I come from a rough place. Some do, some don't, but I come from a rough place. I want to start all over. And now this time that I'm starting all over, I'm going to make sure I got something to show for it. I want to make sure I got something to actually call my own. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to that mentality. Now I put the link up in the chat. Anybody that wants to come up and have a discussion about this definitely should. But mind you, this discussion pretty much started off as FBA's, you know, kind of poking fun at Latinos, but it's a strategy that some Latinos use to get economically independent. Kevin C says, shout out to Kevin C. Kevin C says, although 15 people in one bedroom is a lot, it's a legitimate economic strategy. Shout out to him. Other races use the same strategy, but not generally with as many people. It's not funny. It's a good idea. Yeah, 100% true. Africans do it. Certain Caribbean people do it. I even heard, going down on Twitter, I even heard certain Asian people, I didn't know Asians do it, but certain Asian families, that's what they do as well. And it's a good economic strategy. Again, it's not something to poke fun of. It's something that it's not all the time. I'm not going to be out here lying, saying all Latinos go down this path. No, that's not true. Some do, some don't. But it is a good economic strategy when everybody in that one bedroom apartment, all 50 of them, come to the same consensus and say, Listen, I am tired of being in this position. I want my own stuff. Let's put our money together and let's get it popping, right? So I'm gonna pause the music real quick because I got a couple of people in the back. So I want to give a huge shout out to Kevin C. Kevin C, what's going on, bro?
Hey, what's up? And this is a pretty interesting topic. Hey, I don't really see any issue with this. This actually is a pretty well-known strategy that at least you guys employ. The only thing I would say with it is that 15 people in a two-bedroom is a lot, but I don't see it as a problem. And I'm trying to understand why people would make fun of it because black people do the exact same thing. You know that, right?
Oh, I wasn't aware. No, I wasn't aware.
Yeah, we just do it to a lesser extent, and we do it primarily with family. We do it with friends and family and people that we know. See, the thing that I see, and I've seen this before too, like I've been in hotels where there's a lot of Latinos, they're working on construction, they're all standing in the same room or something like that.
Yeah.
So, and what they're doing is they're because it's expensive, right? And then they're just saving money. There'll be like 4 or 5 of them, or even 6 of them in the same room. And I just, they buy their food, they cook outside on what do you call it, those little heater stoves or something like that.
Yeah, those
they do everything. Yeah, they do everything they can to save money. I'm like, oh, that's cool. I mean, it's just good stuff. I don't know why anybody would make fun of it. And black people need to kind of chill on that. See, this is the kind of stuff I'm talking about.
It was just people just doing little jokes or whatever. I didn't take no mind. I actually ignored it. And I said, these are some of the ignorant people that don't understand. And it's totally fine. Poking fun of it, that's cool, whatever it is, what it is. But a lot of people don't see that it is an economic strategy. And funny thing is, once I said that, there was a lot of people that responded saying, hey, Africans do this too. Hey, I'm Asian. Our people do this too. And I didn't even know that. I thought it was just Latinos, but because I'm on my little Latino bubble, you know what I mean? I wasn't even aware. But continue, go ahead.
Well, yeah, you do see it with Africans, but I just want to, just say that, Black Americans do it too, but it's primarily with family and friends and people that we, take in for a little bit of time. And remember, this was a really solid technique that Black people have been using for decades. This goes all the way back to the Great Migration under the Jim Crow era, all of that stuff. This is something that we technically did.
Can you break it down?
Say again?
Can you break it down? I wasn't aware of that.
Yeah. Okay. So here's what people would do. So remember, coming up from the South, because of all the issues and problems in the South, you had something that was known as the Great Migration, where people from the South would go directly up north, these northern cities where industries were actually building up. And what they would do is they would actually, and it's mostly they only did it with men, because they wouldn't send women by themselves, but the men would kind of go hop from house to house and stay with people until they get to like say you're leaving from what's the southern city going up to New York. I don't know, Alabama, right?
Alabama,
or South Carolina, yes, that's a straight line there. So South Carolina, and then you would go from city to city where Black people would live, where it wasn't that many of them, and then you'd stay for a short period of time, maybe work. Sometimes it would take like a few weeks or even a few months or sometimes a year or 2 years for them to get up north. And they mostly did it with men, and a lot of men, even with married families, did it. Not a lot, but men with married families did. They try to do it mostly with younger men who didn't have families, so that way they could get up there, get established, and then bring other people up. So this is a technique that, it's just Black people did it.
I was not aware of that. That's great. That's something I just learned something now. That's what's up.
Yeah.
So basically so what I'm understanding right now is that every other group has used this practice, and it's not something to like belittle. It's something to actually admire, right?
Yeah, it's a great strategy. It's just I'm gonna tell you why they probably kind of messing with Hispanics a little bit, because sometimes they associate it with people who are like undocumented. So that's kind of what they're thinking about. And I look at it like it is what it is. That's not our issue and fight, but however you guys do business, as long as it doesn't harm what it is we're doing, then I don't see any issue.
Hold on. Shout out to Daddy. He says Radical can't wait for some of his cousins to move out. Shout out to Daddy.
Yeah, but let me ask you something. Don't you think? But now 15 people in a 2-bedroom is a lot. I don't like Black people wouldn't really do that. That's the one thing we wouldn't do. You might double. So you can get maybe 6 people in a 2-bedroom, 7 max, and you'd be like, okay, that's too many of you guys, and you got to start passing them off to other people. That's the cultural difference between probably Latinos and Black people. Like we still kind of we'll accept people temporarily, but this whole thing where there's a whole lot of people, because it seems like a lot, because you're not going to have a whole lot of space.
Oh yeah, of course. Let me break. So some families, right? they do that for other families, right?
Yeah,
Or
yeah,
other family friends or whatever the case is. Other people, other
yeah,
Latinos open it up, like they're kind of known to just open it up to other Latino strangers, basically
yeah,
saying, okay, you're in, let me just say, you're in New Jersey now, right? You're in New
yeah,
Jersey, you want to get up on your feet, that's totally fine. You are number 17 that's living in a 2-bedroom apartment. This is your bed. You'll pay, I don't know, $40 of rent, and that's basically it. Now, when certain families or certain strangers, right, decide, hey, I'm tired of doing this, and come on, Latinos talk amongst themselves, right? So they'll say, let's actually get something going. They will pick literally one person who's on the same page, one person
okay, yeah,
who has everything going on for themselves, and they'll say, okay, you're gonna be our representative. We're gonna put in money. Every week we put in $300 or whatever the case is. We're gonna put in money. We're gonna give it to you, and you are gonna represent our business that you're gonna open up, and then from there, we're also gonna work in that business and
there you go, yeah,
together.
yeah,
So
that's good stuff.
that's the strategy, and that is something that's been working for a while. And I even show, I don't know if you saw the stats that I showed, but part they even said like roughly 1.2 million
Yeah,
of Latino immigrants are business owners in the United States, which is something incredible. And I tip my hat out to my people. Shout out to y'all. I didn't know it was that many, but I knew about the strategy, but I didn't know how deep it went.
yeah. So again, and just like you said, other people do it, but there's just different ways of doing it. And Black people generally limit it to people that they know and family. And if you're outsider, then you gotta come with a serious recommendation. Like this guy's legit. This young, and it's mostly, and we mostly do it with men because we don't try to move women around like that until the guy that she's attached to gets established. And that's
Yeah,
been a technique for decades. Like that was
yeah.
literally yeah, because it's we don't want women moving around by themselves. And
Of
then
course,
families,
of course,
yeah,
it's a lot more sensitive for women to do anything than for men. That's why we're the providers, we're the breadwinners, we're the ones that do most dangerous jobs. Women tend to not go for those type of jobs. Women tend to go for more, I'm gonna say, social jobs, like face to
yeah.
face communication and all this other stuff. So I got Denisse. Denisse is on. Is on. What's going on, Denisse? What's up?
What's up, Brad? You're teaching people dusty techniques? Come on, man.
Dusty techniques. What?
I'm joking.
No,
I'm
no,
joking.
no, no. These are
Look,
not dusty techniques.
I want to
These
add
are our
something.
secrets that I'm putting out in the universe.
Oh my god. No, I wanted to say that there's caveats to like what we're talking about. Like I've seen both sides of the spectrum, right? It depends on location and where those Latinos come from, right? Because we know that Cubans, for example, they come in with nothing but one hand in front, one hand behind, right? So of course they all do those things, but they have a plan and a set amount of years for them to live in these conditions, right? And what they do basically is that, for example, 3, 4 families come directly from Cuba, and then they start paying for like a nice house in a comfortable neighborhood all together. And then when they pay off that house with everybody contributing, right? Then they move to the next one, leave that family there, but that family still contributes. All the families still contribute until the last family gets their house. That's their strategy to own homes in profitable neighborhoods. That has been their strategy for decades. Okay, that's how they have become profitable. That's how they have set themselves ahead, etc., etc. Not every Cuban does this. Let's just put that out there, right? But the Cubans that are quote unquote affluent, that's what they do. Now, if you move that to more of like the Western states, like for example, the one I am in California, Texas, Arizona, et cetera, like if you look at the behaviors of some Mexicans and Central Americans, it's not necessarily like that. A lot of the people that we see, what we often see is that they stay at that situation. Like I've met numerous people that instead of just using that Cuban strategy, what they do is that they stay in that situation for decades. right? And they spend all their money on like parties, quinceañeras, weddings, food, whatever, whatever. So they never really accumulate any type of wealth. Do you get my point?
No, no, yeah,
So so
that's right.
there's caveats to that. Like the same thing happens with Dominicans when they come to the island. Like if you think about it, they come and they live like 10, 15, 20 people in the same house. But I've known people here that live in one bedroom with another whole family, and they're a family of four. Okay. And they
Yeah,
spend all their money on stupid stuff and they never accomplish anything. So, like, as
yeah,
Latinos, we need to accept we have a lot of losers and a lot of loser mentality. So, that's not even a strategy. That's just out of necessity because they're homeless and pause.
yeah.
Like,
And I said this in the beginning. This doesn't apply to every Latino whatsoever. There's
no.
some that do it, and there's some that don't. Unfortunately, there's a lot of Latinos that just want to just take the easy way out and just smoke up their money. You know what I mean? They
Yeah.
want to just spend their money on PlayStation 5s and all this other stuff when they could be actually accumulating some wealth or whatever. But
And I will
again,
say something. A Puerto Rican will never. I'm pretty sure there must be 7, 10 Puerto Ricans, even 100 Puerto Ricans out there that might do this. But let me tell you something. Why we don't do this is not because we're special, right? It's because we're too toxic to live with too many of us. So either we will be on the news because multiple people got stabbed, or something bad, really bad will happen. Like we cannot live with like a large amount of people. Like Puerto Ricans don't behave like this.
yeah, I want to also say that remember, this is a strategy that everybody has to be on the same page. You know, usually for the most part these strategies works when it comes to families or family friends that are living amongst each other. It's very rare for strangers that live amongst each other, you know, in like little groups like this. It's very rare for strangers to apply this, but it's usually when it comes to families and family friends that
Yeah.
this strategy helps out. So I want to say what's up to Jose. What's up, Jose? What's going on? What are your thoughts on this whole thing?
Well, first of all, thank you for allowing me on your platform. Unfortunately, I cannot stay long because I like certain people. I'm still working, but that's neither here nor there. But I think what it does show that a lot, some people are
It
willing
seems like
to
you're
do.
also wrestling. What's going on, bro?
That's his little cousin trying to move and get a snack through Jose.
you're, you're wrestling, bro. What's going on? You're one of the 17 people that live in one house. What's up, bro?
No,
Yeah.
no, 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 no. Truthfully, I'm using a hotspot to get connected, and plus I'm using headphones, so it is what it is because I don't want to like be an attraction of work. But getting back to what I was saying, it just shows that what some people are willing to do in order to become, homeowners and gain businesses. However, there is a certain cost involved. I mean, when you have that many people living under one roof, you're going to get on people's nerves at some point. So you're going to have a thick skin to deal with all the idiosyncrasies of 16, 17, 18, or 19 people. Now, fortunately, in my case, I didn't have to go through living with 18, 19, 20 people to own my home. I did it kind of like the conventional way, which was, of course, I put away some money. I had a good credit. I had a good income, and I took advantage of those resources that was available in order to become a homeowner. But not everyone has the discipline. Not everyone has the drive. And the fact of the matter is, I don't know many Puerto Ricans that can live like in groups of more than four and five without trying to kill each other. I mean, no matter what,
You
because
see?
and I am a mainline Puerto Rican, not like my cyber daughter Denise that was born and raised in the island. I mean, I was born and raised in the United States, so I'm first generation Puerto Rican. But the fact of the matter is, that strategy works for some, it does not work for others.
Yeah,
Got
like Jose,
gotcha.
could you live with like 10 people in one house as a Puerto Rican?
I have a hard time dealing with my siblings, okay? And there was my mother raised eight of us. So you think, daughter. daughter, you know me for about 2 years now. Do you
Yeah.
honestly think I'm gonna? Do you honestly think I'm gonna live in an environment where there's like 15 people and deal with 15 different idiosyncrasies and
No,
15
I
different
don't.
attitudes? I mean, I'm sorry. I
Yeah.
mean, I'm not that crazy.
Yeah, like I said, like as Puerto Ricans, one of our biggest flaws is how quick to anger we are. Like, I'm sorry, but if you're Puerto Rican, I get it. This will hurt your feelings, but we have to admit it. We have to take that L. We're quick to anger. We're not gonna stand living with so many people. That's why we cannot take advantage of
That's
this
why
move.
y'all become great boxers, right? Yeah, it's y'all and Mexicans, right? Y'all, y'all.
But you know, but it works against us because think about it. Imagine if you could save money to put yourself ahead to like this economic thing. Like now you cannot do it because that character flaw, and we have to take
Yeah.
that out.
Now, let me ask the panel. I asked Kevin C this. He already answered this. I'm gonna ask Denise and Jose. I don't know if you still want to stay on and don't get in trouble with your boss or whatever the case is, but you can answer this after. Denise, why would you think certain people will look at something like that and actually make fun of it? Say that couldn't be me, and all this other stuff. Like, why you think certain people will go to that extent?
Because those are jealous people. Because they didn't thought about it and they don't have a group of people to do that with. Because even though I can see that, like, and that could never be me because of my character, right? Like I could never take advantage of that move because of my character flaw. But if I could, like, why not? Like, it's going to set me further. We've seen how this works perfectly time after time after time. So when you're looking at a group of people that they're doing a certain move and you're just making fun of them, you will make fun of them, but in 5 years they'll be ahead of you, and you'll still be laughing at the same spot you're at. So yeah, I will say immaturity, ignorance, and to a degree
Yeah,
maybe jealousy.
gotcha. Jose, do you same question? Why do you think certain people would see something like that instead of understanding it or whatever the case is? The first thing is that they make fun of it.
Unfortunately, some people cannot think outside the box, and some people cannot think more than what's happening now. So that's reality. And again, you have to have a certain mindset, uh, and you have to have a certain amount of discipline, which unfortunately some people do not have. And another thing, we have to be humble enough to admit where something doesn't work. I mean, I have to accept certain truths as regards to my generation. So I mean, it was a bitter pill to swallow, but I had to swallow it nevertheless, and I had a heaping helping of humble pie. But the fact of the matter is, it requires a lot of discipline and uh, and also to have a vision to think, past today. Unfortunately, a lot of people they're not thinking about 5, 10 years down the road, or even next year. They're too busy thinking about now. In my case, I'm going to retire in a couple of years, so I'm really thinking about what I'm going to do as far as my retirement and how I'm going to live my retirement, what I'm going to do, and how to keep myself active. Because I plan to keep myself active in my retirement until the day that I leave this planet.
Gotcha. Let me ask the panel real quick.
Yeah,
Since I
I got some on that too.
go ahead.
Yeah, so I'm gonna say three things. So one is so Denise is actually right. It's jealousy. The other thing too is selfishness, and the other thing is that people don't want to share, and it could be, and one of the reasons is that you have some people. Okay, and this does happen. I've seen it happen. You know, some people who it's supposed to be a temporary situation, right? And then they come in and then they actually squat and then they take advantage of it. So everybody can't be trusted. That's why you got to limit it to basically like tight friends and families, which is why we don't do it in big numbers as we used to. And remember, as Black people got more and more established, we kind of got away from it. We actually used to do the exact same thing with Black immigrants who came over from Africa or the Caribbean, going all the way up until about the 1980s, and then they got big enough to where they started to kind of establish their own enclaves and kind of separate a little bit from Black Americans. And that's probably where some mistakes were made, because we should have actually stayed more together. We should be working on getting more together. But those are the three things that I would see that would play into this: jealousy, selfishness, and people actually taking advantage of basically your good hospitality, and then
Mm,
kind of eating off your resources, and then just hanging out, and not actually doing what they said they're supposed to do. So
Gotcha.
that's
Gotcha.
probably my
Yeah,
see
I
with it.
would I would agree. I would agree to that. That does make sense. Also, the what I was gonna ask the panel is why the certain stats that I've seen, first, second, third, and fourth generation of Latinos don't use this strategy or lack the motivation to open up their own businesses, because after one generation, it literally drops down from 70 something percent to 50%. I'm gonna ask the panel, why do you think that is?
Can you repeat the question real quick, Ram?
The question is, how come that hunger from immigrant Latinos goes away from throughout the generations that Latinos stay in America from first, second, third, fourth, and fifth?
Because you make life more easy, more comfortable for them. Like we've seen it time after time. Like, and that's something that I keep telling people: the immigrants that come here, right? They don't come here necessarily out of need. They don't need to come here. They want to come here. So the mindset of an immigrant is, I have the drive to abandon who I am right now here in this country. And I will die every day that I'm away in order to live and be born somewhere else. That's basically the notion of migration, is dying and living at the same time. Because as much as you keep living on this new place, you keep dying where you were. So you cannot put that mindset or that experience on your kids, so they don't necessarily have that. They live in the comfort of cities with reliable electricity, reliable water, reliable public transportation, reliable internet access. Everything is at the grasp of their fingertips. They don't need to be resourceful. You get my point? So part
Yeah.
of that eye of the tiger gets lost a little bit because people get more comfortable. And if you're not challenged, especially for us Latinos, if we're not challenged and pushed, we're not going to do anything, because one of our biggest flaws is that we love to party too much. We love to drink too much. We're too cowardice, too lazy. And if you let us to our own devices, we're not going to do anything. Why do you think the Spanish Empire could come in and ravage through us? Because that's what we do. That's our biggest flaw. It's one of the most beautiful things when it comes from outsiders enjoying our culture, but it's one of our biggest flaws. Does that
Okay.
make sense?
It does make sense. It does make sense. Kevin C, do you want to give your opinion on that?
Yeah, and what was the question, real quick again? I was kind of listening, then I got lost.
The question was, how come first, second, and third generation Latinos lose the motivation that Latino immigrants come here with in opening up businesses? First, second, third kind of lose that motivation. They end up being workers instead of owners.
Okay, yeah. So I'm not gonna do it for the Latinos. I'm gonna apply it to Black people that I see. It's because literally what Denise was talking about. So the idea is, see, people are willing to struggle that first generation, maybe first generation and a half, but after that, you're supposed to be set up and comfortable and all the other stuff. And then you're supposed to be the group that kind of lends a helping hand, but not do like the what I call the nug work, meaning like the grassroots, all the hosting and all the other stuff. You're supposed to be that family that's established like a generation and a half away from that. So once you get comfortable, now you want your own space, you want your own house, you want your own family and home and all the other stuff. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, but at the same time, it's more like, hey, I already did all of that. I went through that phase. I'm done with that. Now I'm on to the next phase. Does that make sense?
No, it does. It does. Jose, you still there? You didn't get in trouble?
Okay. Again, part of the problem is that it does require a certain amount of discipline to be engaged and try to not only to develop a business but to grow a business. I mean, and it, certain generations after the first generation they start to lose that desire, lose that drive. So that's the reason why you see the percentages of businesses, past the first generation drops. And also, part of it is, we start to lose a part of our identity. I can see it with my immediate family. Okay, according to Denise, I'm basically the most gringo person on the platform, because my Spanish is kind of whack, but it is what it is. So if I'm gringoized, so to speak, my nephews and nieces and my grandnieces and nieces, I'm even more gringoized because the fact of the matter is they're losing more and more of their identity, more and more of their culture.
Gotcha, gotcha. Yeah, I tend. Anybody wants to add on to what he said,
Yeah,
Denise?
I
Go ahead.
I wanted to add, like, I just put it in the chat. Like, there's a saying that says something like, for example, in America, you're never, it's very few families that you're going to see that are going to maintain wealth past the third generation. Okay, like, everybody regresses after the third generation, because we know that the first generation builds, the second expands, and the third one messes it up. And it's because eventually the kids of your kids will lose touch with who you are and where you're positioned today. That's bound to happen. So, how do you manage to pass down all of that wisdom and the same life experience? Only very few families in America have mastered that. And it's not only America. If you look at any country, only a few fistful of people have managed to have the wisdom to pass down how things are supposed to go in order for them to maintain wealth. But even if you look at the royals in the UK, do you think they're as wealthy as Elizabeth I was? Of course not. Okay, like, and she had the golden age. Like, that's the peak of the British Empire. She had the most money, the biggest army. They were extremely wealthy. How did they manage to come all the way down to this mediocre monarchy we have today? Well, because generational wealth is not supposed to last. People regress at some point, especially in America, which is it's very easy to
Yeah.
lose wealth.
Let me ask you guys, what do you think Latinos, as in the first, second, third, going down, what can we give, or what advice should we do, or what strategy should we do in order to not only maintain that business or maintain that small pocket of America, but also expand it, make it a chain, make it a corporation? How come we haven't done that yet? Because I haven't seen that actually accomplished or done.
Well, you have the Reyes Company, right? Those are a group of Cuban and Puerto Ricans that decided to bottle uh, Coca-Cola syrup for the Coca-Cola company. So they process all the Coca-Cola syrup in Puerto Rico, by the way, for the world. And they expanded from that, and those are the products that you know today as Goya. And I think they're on their fourth generation, if I'm not mistaken. Um, but how do you manage to do that? To be honest, in my opinion, is to keep your kids and their kids and the kids of their kids connected to who you are, like your original identity to a degree, like the life story, like how your grandparent or your great grandparent came to this country and they didn't do anything, and we all rest on the shoulders of that ancestor. If you're able to achieve that with your kids to the point that your kid is doing that with his kid, and you ensure that that is possible, wealth will stay most likely within your family because it will have a meaning to keep it. Does that make sense?
That does. Anybody wants to add on to that?
Yeah, I'm gonna keep this brief. I think part of it, we need to encourage the younger generations to try to retain more of our culture and to develop a sense of vision and and a sense of discipline, because it does take a lot of discipline to actually put in the long hours that you need in order to create and establish a business and keep a business. At the same time, it requires a great deal of discipline in order, to put away funds and to not only to buy property but to maintain it. Because buying is the easy part. The question is, how to maintain it. And I mean, maintain it as far as making sure that the bills are paid, making sure that at time you make improvements on your property, so it increases in value. Okay, if we could encourage the younger generations uh, to be more disciplined, to have more of a vision, and and to try to keep maintain ties with the culture, particularly you know coming from first generation and those of us writing here, that would be very successful. Guys, I gotta go, but before I go, I do gotta plug my channel a little bit. And this Sunday, I'm gonna be doing a special stream at 9:30 p.m. to discuss where the baby boomers screwed up, and I can attest to it because I am a baby boomer, and I have to
I could tell
accept.
you one part got screwed up in that mic. God damn, that microphone's a beast, bro.
I got, unfortunately, I gotta use what I gotta use in order to not to create as much noise. But we're gonna have a serious discussion regarding where we screwed up and how we can make amends to the younger generations, so we can like, okay, look, so we can tell you this, look, this is where we screwed up. We're going to apologize. We're going to own up to our mistakes, and then we're going to do what's necessary in order to give you a better example uh, for you to follow, and make sure that you do not repeat the same mistakes we made. Okay,
Gotcha,
so
gotcha, Jose.
so that being
Gotcha.
said,
Gotcha. Thank you, Jose. That
thank
mic's
you.
a
Have a good
beast.
day.
I hope you fix that mic before you do your live, bro. All right, have a good one, bro. Jesus Christ.
Hey, Brad, I'm gonna go ahead and take off, but I'll just go ahead and click because the only reason I popped up is because I wanted to kind of
Yeah, say what
because
you
you
gotta say,
mentioned that
bro.
yeah, well, because you mentioned that some black people were making fun of it, and first of all, they shouldn't be doing that because again, it's a good economic strategy, and the only reason that they're probably associating it with the wrong thing versus just looking at it from the practical perspective that it is, and then the other thing too is it's something that I would recommend that so if we're going to continue to get Caribbean and Black and African immigrants over that, and remember like I said, up until about the 1980s or so, it kind of fizzled out, but we used to literally sponsor like one or two people, and then that family, once they got on, they would bring their people in, and then they would kind of branch out. And we kind of got away from that. So if black people, African Caribbean descent and Black Americans were smart, we get back to that because literally that's how you help build out the community. One of the things that kind of happened negatively was that once you got a lot of Black immigrants kind of doing their thing and they got like what they felt was good image, then they started breaking off and doing their own thing and creating their own enclaves. And that kind of creates a disunity between just Black people themselves. See, when we see Black people, at least how it used to be was they were all Black and we were all helping each other. But like I said, around the 1980s was kind of a shift, and that's not a good thing for us. So what you guys are doing is that strategy, and I like you said, everybody doesn't do it, but that would be a good thing to kind of get us back ingratiated. You had the intercultural exchange. You had, you learning something about American culture, and then, that way you wouldn't have to go through the bumps and bruises, and you had somebody who was Black that could run interference on all the issues and problems that you might encounter, and then you bring your family over. So I mean, it's just something that we should be doing. But I don't really know why people would make fun of it, unless. And I don't know if it's making fun, except unless it's like infringes on what it is they're doing in their area. That would be the only thing negative about it. So that would be the only thing I would look out for. But outside of that, we've known that you guys do this for a while, and we used to do it a whole lot better. We don't do it as much anymore, but we still do it to some extent. But we need to get back to that. But yeah, thanks for letting me up, man.
Not a problem, bro. Thank you for coming in. Morena,
right. Take care, Denise.
Take care.
Morena said, I definitely believe blood moon now. I don't know what that means. But maybe you could, if you can clarify. I don't know what she means by that.
I want to know that bochinche, Morena. If you don't say it publicly, message me. I will know the bochinche and I won't tell you that. Sorry.
Of course. No, but let me ask. Like, okay, so you mentioned the Goya people, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what do you think, in your opinion, that the Goya people? Because you said keep that connection, right? Keep that connection to the original foundation of that company. But do you think there's other like strategies that we could probably implement within our community?
You have to teach financial literacy, capitalism are things that are taught. Okay. And I think you can take the Hiltons as an example, right? You have
Oh,
the
okay, okay, Morena. All right. You tell that Latino. Okay, all right.
you can take the Hiltons, for example. The
Yeah,
grandpa was a janitor or something like that, like very
yeah,
low
yeah, yeah,
grade
yeah.
employee. He purchased a hotel that went bankrupt that he worked at. He built that, you know. Conrad
Yeah.
Hilton was very intelligent. So he trained his child, Conrad Jr., to actually do the work and expand. And what he decided to do, he moved from the Hiltons, right, to the Conrad, the Wyndhams, and the Four Points.
Mm,
So he expanded, typically, like I mentioned before. And then
yeah,
when it came to Paris Hilton, and I don't know the name of the other one because it's the same,
yeah.
and his kid, Conrad the Third, what happened?
I don't know. You told me what
They
happened.
lost. Now you
Oh,
have Marriott took over all of their stuff. They started losing and losing and losing network and losing stuff, scandal after scandal, because Conrad Second, Conrad Jr. did not taught their kids the worth of money, and they did not
mm,
understood, even though they knew their grandpa, but they never understood grandpa's story. Okay, I'm
mm,
resting on the shoulders of grandpa, my grandfather, the janitor. You get my point?
yeah.
The person that had to scrub toilets so that I could be a millionaire today. So of course they're not connected to that wealth. So they don't care about spending grandpa's money. They don't care about screwing grandpa's legacy.
Yeah.
You
I
get my
think,
point?
yeah, Danny made a great point. Danny made a great point because they grew up affluent and spoiled.
But a lot
That's
of people do. Look at the
that's true.
Rockefellers.
Yeah, no, that's true. That's true. And this is the thing that I'm saying is that, okay, usually most Latino businesses that are pretty fast to start up are either a bodega, right?
Mhm,
A barber shop,
mhm.
a little food restaurant, that you see the food behind the glass or whatever the case is. Those are pretty quick to start up, and it doesn't take too much to fund. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
They could probably get it started up within a week if people really put in the elbow grease for it, right? So my thing is that it's very, 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 very rare for us Latinos to actually look within the future of just that one business, you know, like like incorporating that one business into something way larger, having not one bodega but two, three, four, five. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it look,
Incorporating.
one person that I admire, and I know a lot of people hate me for it, but I admire deeply Donald Trump's business strategy. Now, we know if you go back three generations, that leaves us where? Frederick Trump, the
Yeah.
German dude that came as an immigrant in the 1800s, towards the end of the 1800s. Now, he had a child, right? Uh, that became a real estate typhoon. But how did that happen? Well, they started buying apartment complexes and
And
they started
turning them
renting it to
into whole
people.
houses.
And they were slumlords. Let's just keep it real. They scam a lot of
They
people.
turned
They
that joint into whole houses. I
they were bad at it.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
Fred scammed a lot of people. He was a slumlord, but he continued to purchase a lot of real estate. So, alongside with his father and his mother, they started owning a lot of spaces in New York and New Jersey, and look at what they did. So at the time, he still taught. If you think about it, Frederick Trump, the Donald Trump's grandfather, taught Fred Trump II how to do this, right? So that's the second generation. But he also taught Fred Trump that if he raised weak kids, all of that will come crashing down.
Yeah.
So Fred Trump knew that, and what he did when Donald was 18, I don't give a fuck how you get it done. You grew up as a billionaire. Of course, I'm gonna give you $1 million, but if you waste it, I'm not going to do anything for you in your whole life. So you have that pressure. I already gave you the tools on how to manage money. And who is Donald Trump today? What is he doing with Ivanka? What is he doing with his kids? They might be cocaine whores and whatever, but you can never tell me that those kids don't know how to manage money. And that is
Yeah.
thought.
And on top of that, that he got in himself in such a position that just renting his name will bring wealth into that building.
Yeah.
Because let's be honest, most of these Trump towers, they're not really Trump towers. They're just renting his name, and just for the perception.
The golf courses, yeah.
Yeah, just for the perception, and that says a lot. That says a lot about his strategy and perception as well.
And
Because
let's not forget, this is a dude that has went into bankruptcy 4 times,
I thought it was
and
6.
those 4 times,
Okay.
and he has come out of there 4 times. So that should tell you.
Yeah, bankruptcy doesn't really mean a lot.
But just think about this. Most people after bankruptcy, right? After they pay it off and their credit is okay, after all those years, right? They will be very conservative with their spending. They will never do anything crazy. Donald Trump took the risk again, failed again, took the risk again, failed again, took the risk again, and failed again, and then now took the risk again.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people do that unless you're taught how to manage money, and he knows how to do that perfectly.
And be managed by the Russians. But yeah, so the no, let me stop. That's a joke. That was a joke, people. That was a joke. That was a joke. I don't want no heat. I don't want no heat. I don't want no heat from nobody. That was a joke. That was a joke. No, but my thing is that no, you're absolutely 100% right. I've seen some documentaries, some YouTube Americans or whatever. I see some documentaries of, like, for Versace, how they started out, Louis Vuitton, how they started out. I even said you're. Look at Danny. He said you're like Ecuadorian. I've seen some documentaries on how KFC. So the dude who made KFC what it is today, he finally got that chance at the age of 50.
Wasn't a black person the owner of that recipe to begin with?
No. Well, for what I've seen from the documentary, is he's been trying to start up a business, and he only got lucky based on how his kitchen management skills were, but he was still down and downtrodden. The thing was, he ended up getting I think a family, for what the documentary said, it was a family recipe or something like that. I don't know. It probably could have been a black person.
He stole, of course. Like, we know that he stole it from a black person. Like, come on. I don't mean no disrespect to whites, but they don't know how to make chicken that good.
Yeah, of course. So he took that, and then that's when his first business started actually getting off the ground. Now he sold that business, obviously. And just by having his face on the KFC thing, just having his face there, his family gets royalties just for having his face on the goddamn KFC.
Yeah, because he negotiated well. It's kind of like Uncle Ben's.
That's what Stan Lee did. Stan Lee, during that time, comic book creators were pretty much, if you work for Marvel or whatever the case is, and you create a very popular character, it's Marvel's. That's it. You're done. Your name could be there as a creator. That's great, but you don't get nothing more than these little $100 a week. You know what I'm saying? So that's how a lot of creators got messed up, except for Stan Lee. Stan Lee was the original creator for artist. I'm sorry,
Spider-Man.
For not only Spider-Man, but the original artist for Marvel. And he basically said, "Listen, I started with you guys for a long time, so at least let's negotiate something." He negotiated pretty well to the point where he didn't get screwed over, but a lot of people did. The creator of Superman, them two people, they literally died homeless. The creator of Wolverine, same thing, died homeless, downtrodden. I think the creator of Batman, it wasn't Bob Kane. He actually negotiated very well, but the co-creator of Batman, Bill Finger, he's another one that literally became unknown and died dirt poor. He was, I think they found him homeless with a bottle of liquor in his studio apartment in New York.
Christ.
Yeah, it was messed up. So I understand when it comes to business how certain things could look like, how certain things need to move, but we also have to remember and see the strategies of how people started off messed up, right? And how they got to the point that they're at now. You feel me? So
Mhm.
those should be like motivational type of things.
Yeah, but you know what's the problem, right? Like people don't. Okay, we live in a society today that has wired people to hate capitalism because for so long, only through the education system that your parents could provide, that will determine how high you will go in the hierarchy of jobs, in the hierarchy of wealth. Only certain people that have like tremendous amount of drive and not a lot of shame, and they were not shy, they will get into spaces, ask like ridiculous questions and move ahead, right? But
Yeah.
then there's something that MK says a lot, and it makes a lot of sense, and I heard it yesterday again on another stream that I'll mention like forward, right? Which is the biggest equalizer today for people is your phone. Okay, you don't depend, like, not anymore information is being kept from you like it
Yeah.
used to be when we were going to school. Like, I think older millennials are the last group of people that school determined how much you knew. So the system teaches us how to hate capitalism, and propaganda tell us to be part of the 99% and hate the 1%, which is hate the rich and eat them and tax them and put them through hell, because you cannot beat them. Because I can bet you that all those people saying tax the rich and eat the rich, if they were in the richest people's position, they will not even care.
Yeah.
So instead of just getting mad, I would say we need to start reading. But how many people are willing? We've had access to the internet for over 23 years now. How many people are actually actively looking up economic advances and how they can take advantage of things?
Yeah,
Not a lot.
listen, not for nothing, I'm not trying to put all my business out there, but I literally do that every other, was it every other 3 weeks to a month. There's new things that you can do to make money. For I'm gonna give y'all one game for free. For example, there's a website where AI can make a art for you. It's free. You could literally have an AI. You could just type in whatever you want the art to be, and just make it like a fantasy type of wonderland or whatever the case is. The AI machine will make it for you. Give you 4 different variations of it. You pick which one you like, and you can even make it much better if you wanted to. You take that image, go to Etsy. There's another company that prints out what you want and sell it right then and there. You literally have to you could set the price at how you want to set the price. I
And
literally the
people
funny
still
shit.
don't do
You
it.
wanna hear the funny shit?
Right.
I went to the Museum of Modern Art here in New York. I took a picture of a Jackson Pollock painting, the most famous one, right, with my phone. I took it. I made sure nobody was there. I took it very crisp, high quality, and everything like that. I put it up on fucking Etsy. Guess what? I made like maybe $200 one month because everybody was fucking buying it.
Wow.
And
Wow.
literally, this company could just make whatever size that the customer wants. All you do is just put that image up there. It has to be high resolution, by the way, but you just put the thing up there, and that's it. It's done.
You see
there,
that
there's
that's
there's ways to make money online. It's not going to be crazy money, but if you put your mind into it, you could definitely do it. I believe there's another way that I haven't tried, and I didn't want to try, which I should, but there's another way where Amazon fulfillment. There's ways to do that. I think the startup cost for that is $3,000 and a credit card with $1,000 on it. Basically, you need to start off with $4,000 pretty much, And there's been Jewish people that I know that open up fucking warehouses in upstate New York next to 25 minutes where I live from. Warehouses that they have a bunch of Amazon stocked, merchandise. All they do is fucking ship them. That's all they do.
Wow.
And they
Wow.
make bread. They make bread.
But people are not paying attention to that because
People are not. People
and
are
not
not.
only that, do you remember when I was
I
telling
made a-
our
I made a-
collective?
I made a video. I think a year ago, how to make money online, and one of those ways to make money online was cryptocurrency mining. Mind you, all of those things are not going to work now because they were working at the moment. You know what I'm saying? A lot of things move fast, and you have to move with the times. So cryptocurrency mining for Ethereum was very hot. I literally spent for a graphics card close to $3,000. Just I made my money back plus more just having that shit for 6 months straight running.
Listen,
I made my money back plus more. So what I'm saying is people they who are really serious, don't want to scam or look over your shoulder for the cops or whatever the case is. If you're really serious, there are ways to actually fucking do it. I remember there was a dude that was really close to one of my business partners, right? I met with him one time, and I've never met with him again after that because I didn't really like his vibe, but I really enjoyed the way he moved in business, and I really enjoyed what he actually, was doing, right? So he told me, he said, if I would give you $1 million, right now, and I tell you to turn into $2 million in within 6 months, if you don't do it, I'll take that $1 million back plus interest, right? How would you turn that into $2 million? And what was it? The first thing I went back to on some street shit. I was like, I'm gonna buy cocaine and flip it, right? But that's what I thought. That's what I thought.
Oh my God, the dustpan way. Okay.
The dustpan way. That's what I thought. But I said, hold up. I could either do it do it through real estate, but you're talking about 6 months. That's gonna be very short. I'm not gonna see a good return of $1 million through real estate in maybe close to 3 to 4 years, realistically. So this is what I told him. I said, I will go to my bank and I will let them know, hey, you see how much money I have in that account? Well, here's a business planning. I want a loan for $1 million. And that's what I'll do. And
so you're using your 1 million as collateral.
Exactly. It doesn't really matter how I get the 2 million as long as I get the 2 million. So he smiled and he said that's exactly what you need to do. You need to play with other people's money.
Yeah.
Don't ever play with yours. Use yours or a percentage of yours as an upfront cost, but always use other people's money. And that always stuck with me. So when I said when I heard that, that's when I was like, you're absolutely right. So that's when I started to actually improve my credit way more, and I started to use other people's money in the long run.
Yeah, and you also, like, one thing I would say is, like, before you follow Radical's advice, make sure you register your LLC. Like, I will never advise anyone to, like, do like a normal corporation nowadays. Like, on very exclusive cases you can, but just do an LLC. Like, the economy is too volatile to actually do that. And you don't want no one to come after your personal assets. So, like, LLCs all the way. And then you go and you ask for and get your EIN, and then go ask for the $1 million.
Nah, chill. Don't. It was just a. It was a
imagine him
hypothetical.
on a Corolla Morena with all those trucks, or an Echo. Does anybody remember the Toyota Echo?
Yeah, I remember that. That
Oh
piece
my
of
God,
shit.
I remember that car. That car was something
That
else.
piece of shit.
Yeah, it was insane. But to be honest, Brad, let's just keep it real. Our people are not living 15 Latinos on a two-bedroom house for an economic strategy.
No,
Majority
it's
of
not. It's not happening across the board. It's happening in some areas, but not across the board. It's not. It's not a major thing. No.
give me
Um.
one tiny sec, one tiny sec.
Okay. Yeah. It's not a major thing. It's not happening in a mass scale. I'm not gonna be out here lying on that. Latinos are not doing that. Like us all throughout. The country. No, it's happening in certain areas for certain families and certain individuals, but it's not happening in a mass scale like that. No. The majority of Latinos are just trying to just survive the next day, and the little money that they do have, they send it back home. That's what it is. And a lot of Latinos don't have that, and
I'm back.
entrepreneurial type of mindset. Go ahead.
So yeah, like let's just keep it real. Like Latinos, for the most part, are not doing this. Maybe the ones that just came like fresh off the border or fresh from the boat, but like majority are just doing it because out of laziness. Like I said, I see that Dominican and I is saying. I was mentioning what Denise was saying about people having more drive when they first come to the U.S. Yeah, exactly. Like later generations, I'm sorry, maybe first. I would say first generation is the last one that has that drive. Maybe because they're fully connected to the immigrant, but other than that, it's like I don't know. I don't see it. But look, for example, it's something that I've said many times. My platform is 100% money talk, especially for our collective, which I find very funny that the majority of our collective don't listen to anything related to business. Not just on me. There's another guy called Techno Boca, which is also a Latino that I follow. Not a lot of people are there. Okay, our people are
Yeah.
lazy even when you provide them the information.
It's funny that in the Latino household, women get shamed for not cooking or not being feminine enough, and
Mhm.
males get shamed for not being so masculine or whatever the case is. But where is that shame for having an entrepreneurial type of mindset? There isn't.
There
Where's
isn't because we don't come from capitalist system for the most
Yeah,
part.
I think we should start changing that mindset.
Yeah, and especially in generations after the first, I would say. Like the first generation has a very different job than the immigrant, and that is absorbing capitalism as we'll say as a culture, which basically is the Americana culture, and then passing it down and make sure it gets passed down to the other kid. Like I was saying the other day when you were talking about that dude asked like if like Puerto Ricans and African Americans want to end DACA. I don't. I want more immigrants to come. Why? Because I want those cheap workers. Every business needs that. Why do I want to pay American labor? American labor is expensive. Do you want to pay that on your
Not
business, Rat?
not for nothing. Listen, just I have a business, and I used to have 6 workers. Now I got 5. Uh, but outside of them getting their taxes taken away, I have to pay for them taxes too. You know what
You
I'm
see?
saying?
Yeah, and
So
it's
the last thing I want to fucking do is pay more taxes on top of that. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. I don't want to pay. Look, for an American worker, for the people that don't have like a business mindset, an American worker needs uh, workers insurance. You need to pay also a liability insurance. You need to pay them their wage, and it has to meet certain requirements because yes, you have the minimum wage, which is 7.25 still, but according to that area, if there's other positions that pay more or the state has a higher minimum wage, you're screwed.
Well, my state's minimum wage is 15.
Same here. Same here. And then if you have to train that employee, provide him materials to start, like uniforms and stuff. Let's say you want to do drug testing, which I don't think it should be mandatory, but let's say you want to do drug testing and you want to do aptitude testing or whatever the hell, plus the training, plus the hands-on training, which is a secondary training, you kind of don't want to spend all that money. You'd rather, as a business owner, that adds up. Like if you want to, let's say that hiring 10 people for a small business, right, costs you per employee close to $300 with all of the things that I just mentioned, plus the medical contribution you have to make to pay for their, thanks to Obama, to pay for their medical insurance, because the employer has to pay a portion. Let's say that you spend per year close to $1,000 something on per employee. When you add that up, that's close to $15K for 10 employees per year.
Listen, when I got my shop at the mall and stuff, I went through a contractor. I spent the guy with the things that I wanted, labor, material, costing, all that. It came up to 5,000, right? So I'm like, all right, cool. Here's $5,000. Do whatever. Next day, I see 4 Mexicans in front of my shop the next day with material and all this other stuff. So, I'm Latino, right? One of the things is, like, I don't know about you, but I like to, like, be hands-on with my shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm start helping some of the workers out, right?
Of course, you want to make sure it's done right too.
Yeah, come to find out, I paid this man $5,000. Guess how much these workers were getting paid a week?
Like what? Like
$500. $500.
Wow.
There was four of them. So I'm like, are you constantly working? He was like, oh yeah, with him I work Monday through Friday. If it's not here, somewhere else. If it's not somewhere else, it's here, whatever the case is. He drops us all off with the materials, and that's about it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I go and I'm like, wait a minute, these 4 guys make $500 a week. Let's say you get 5,000 for 3 spots, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's 15 grand. The only thing that you're spending in a week with all of that is $2,000.
Wow.
What? So I'm like, in my mind, I didn't even tell him how much I spent, but in my mind, I'm like, God damn.
You see, that person wants open borders.
Yeah.
Like I said, like, people are retarded. Like, if you don't know how America functions, then just be a worker. It's the same reason why I keep saying, like, we should not be fighting with people.
Wait. Blood was so stupid. She's like, many Latinos spoil their kids when they move to the U.S. because back home they had nothing. This causes laziness. I'm so lazy. It's my mom's fault.
But she has a point. She has a point, because I just had my baby, right? For the people that don't know that, Grayson is 3
nobody
months.
Cares.
Grayson's 3 months, right? And I want to give him everything, right? And I think it wasn't like I didn't have nothing back home, but I want him to have way more than I did. So of course, that plays a role.
Hey, real quick before I start wrapping it up, real quick. Are you showing him cartoons and stuff like that?
No.
Okay, I'm gonna have to ask why, and then I'm gonna tell you what my plan is. But why are you not showing him cartoons?
Well, first of all, he's 3 months. Like, he's still not ready for cartoons. But when he is, I'm showing him the cartoons I grew up in.
Okay, that's exactly where I was gonna go at. So recently I saw some shit on Netflix, right? On Twitter, talking about some 3D cartoon thing, talking about I'm non-binary and I'm not he or her and all this other stuff.
Yeah, the little cow.
yeah. And I said, "Oh hell no! I'm not. No, 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 no. I am not. No, no." So I I saw that because I got Direct TV.
Oh,
The
look
app,
at what MK just said, man.
what
And it is true.
I
He
show
showed
him
the kid
anime,
anime,
so that's out the window.
even though
uh,
he's not supposed to.
yeah,
He's ready. He's ready.
yeah, Dragon Ball Z. No,
Yeah.
so I because I got Direct TV, the app, not the dish. I could just have the app and watch
Yeah,
live
cause
TV through the
you couldn't
internet.
install the dish right now.
No,
You'd be like,
I don't
how
even
do
want.
I do this?
Get out of
I'm
here!
Latino. I don't know how to do this.
Well, I gotta be an astronaut now to be putting satellite. No, let me stop. No. So I said, let me just buy the app, right? And I get live TV and a bunch of channels and stuff like that. So it's like still the same thing, just streaming, right? So I'm I'm going through the thing and I see that I have Boomerang, and Boomerang shows all the old Flintstones, Tom and Jerry, the Jetsons. They show all the original old
The
school cartoons.
misogynistic,
And
sexist.
get the Popeye, Looney Tunes. Guess what? And they're not censored. They
Oh, that's
literally
nice.
they literally show all the hits,
So,
all the
Brad,
boing,
let me
all of
ask you
them.
something. Are
What's up?
you okay with teaching your son, showing him Pepe Le Pew, so he can
Yeah.
sexualize kids and women in the future?
Wait, kids? Sexualized kids?
Sex, like when he's a little kid, of course.
Oh.
And then women when he's grown up in the
Oh
future.
yeah. Well, Pepe Le Pew was the man. Wait, what? Wait, he did something bad?
Didn't you start?
Oh wait, so you're not supposed to do that? No, let me stop.
No, I'm joking. I'm
Let me
joking.
stop. Let me stop.
No, look, I'm so tired. I don't know if you guys feel this way. Like, put a one in the chat if
I
you
go
feel
up to
like
women like I'm like, hey, what's up? Hey, what's up, fucker? What's going on, fucker? No, let me stop. Let me stop.
Beanie the Pooh. No,
Beanie
but
the
seriously,
Pooh. Uh-huh.
look, I am so tired, and it makes it less enjoyable to watch a show that's trying to teach me what to say and how to say it and how to feel towards certain things. Like, I don't want to be like that. Like, I don't want shows to tell my kid how to feel, how to think, or even me. Like, I hate that. And that's what they did with Sex in the City. They did it with Gossip Girl. They did it. What was the other show that they ruined? They ruined all my childhood, man. They ruined Space Jam.
Oh no.
Yes, they ruin all. I'm like, do people know that showing people all these things is not going to erase that some men are going to be perverts, that some people are just not going to like the gays, that some people are just not going to like non-white folks? Like, it's not going to do anything.
It is what today I seen something on Twitter talking about like a poll, like, is it okay to be white? And it's like yes, no, maybe, right? And I put it was so stupid. So I put yeah, like yes, it's okay to be white. Who's questioning that? You know what I'm saying? Who's questioning that? The messed up part about it is when I put yeah, like yeah, it's okay to be white. The little poll thing was like 17%. And then
Wow.
the no was like maybe 35, and the maybe was like fucking 70 something. And I'm like, yo,
That is so crazy.
it's not that deep. You know what I mean? It's like it's
Yeah.
not that deep. Like I understand, understanding about racism and colonialism and stuff like that, but at the end of the day, these regular white folks are just trying to live their life. You feel
Yeah, and
me?
not only that, like, imagine if we like our indigenous people like went out into the world and killed everybody else or enslaved the rest remaining people, and then we became ultra rich all around the world, and then people started trying to shame us for that. Like, why? Because we did it first.
Because
Everybody does that. Everybody does that. It's something that I've said many times. Like, it's just Europeans won. We lost the war.
Yeah,
We can fight.
It
You can go to war. You don't like it? Go to war.
It is, yeah, it is what it is.
Stop
It is.
whining, grow up hair, and take your business.
It is what it is. Apparently, let me just say this real quick before we wrap it up. Apparently, my two most popular videos right now that are
Mhm.
trending are like the cheating videos. I have no idea why
People
that.
like a mess.
I don't
People
know
like a mess.
why people are liking that, but right now it has like 40, I think 40K views right now.
Wow.
The Dominican girl who cheated on her man, and I think the other girl that I put up that cheated on her man is going up to 1K now. I don't have no idea why that's so popular, but if y'all like them cheating, people getting caught cheating, I got another one for y'all that's about to come out.
Oh my God.
It's
No,
gonna
I
come.
think it's because, look, misogyny has become the new block. Like it's the new flavor around. YouTube is pushing all that stuff out.
Really?
Yes. If you want to uh gain viewers, just start making videos talking shit about women. I'm
Yo,
not
bro,
joking.
I
Just start
listen.
saying that women are trash, that modern women are useless, they didn't serve nothing, that they're all three or fours to go to the Philippines and Vietnam, and I watch your channel grow.
Yo,
Okay, watch it go from 0 to 25K in 30 days. Thank
oh,
me later.
oh yeah. Well, I'm definitely gonna take that advice. I'm gonna start changing the routine of my channel. No, but it's oh, but by the way, them kids that beat up that autistic kid, he got
Oh my God,
they
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 deserve they
they
deserve
got
to go to
caught.
jail.
They got caught. By the way,
Yeah, no,
um,
you know what I think, and I'm
women
gonna
are
keep
no,
saying it.
that's not no. You're right. You're
Oh my
right.
God,
Women, a
stop,
lot, bro. A lot of women are
stop.
delusional.
Right,
A,
you don't want
lo-
to have the discussion.
a
A
lot
lot
of
of men,
women,
a lot of men are delusional
a
too. You
lot
see
of
them,
women are
they look just
delusional.
like Mike Wazowski, but they want a feminine, fit, friendly, inspirational woman that cooks clean, picks up after them, smells good, looks like a Victoria's Secret model, wants to live by them, not cheat, give them endless sex, have all their stupid kids, and just be with them to the end of the day and let them run them ragged. Nah, screw that.
What's
We
wrong
don't
with
live in
that?
that society. We don't live in that society, man.
What's wrong with that? What's wrong?
We don't live in
Uh,
that society. Compromises have to be made. I'm going to
well,
focus on that more
wait,
on my
wait,
platform
wait.
lately.
Hold on. I understand. Okay, wait. No, we're gonna get into this. Hold on. We're gonna get into
Oh
this really
my
quickly.
God,
Really
Jesus.
quickly. I understand sacrifices need to be made. You're 100% right. Sacrifices do need to be made, but at a certain point, you know what? With certain women will just be fucking like delusional as hell, talking about, hey, I definitely deserve a man to take me serious when I have 300 bodies. Like, come on,
Well,
man.
no, but that's not the majority of the women, though.
Not
Let's
the
say, like,
majority, but
that's
yeah.
not the majority of women. I mean, whores, I've said it. Radical, do you remember when I used to say that whores are necessary in every society? Hence
No,
why
I
that's
don't
like
know.
the oldest profession. Like, whores are needed. I encourage whores to exist. The problem is we have too many. But that does not mean that all women in America are whores. They might look like it, but they're not. Like when you talk to them, they're really not. Okay. And for the whores that are out here, let's keep it real. What makes a woman a whore?
Outside of her body count?
No, what makes a woman a whore?
Outside of her body count?
No, not outside. Just what makes a woman a whore?
Outside of her
No,
body count. What I'm
I
asking is
didn't say that.
no,
No,
no. I'm putting it out there. Outside of her body count, what makes a woman a whore?
no. Even with the body count, what makes a woman a
Oh,
whore?
with it? Oh shit.
What
Eh,
makes a woman a whore?
It's gonna be a 3 hour live stream. Not just play. Oh
What
no.
makes a woman a whore?
Oh my.
That you should make a stream
Okay.
about that.
Okay. Well. Let's go. Well, let's go down the. I'm gonna need your fingers, by the way. Let's go down the list. No. Let's go down the list. The body count, the way she acts, the way she's going to treat you later on. Also,
But how do
they
you know?
wait,
Okay,
wait,
okay.
wait. Also, they've made studies saying that women who have a very promiscuous past don't are very uncommon to share to I think was it bond or cope or bond or whatever with another partner. So it shows that they are more promiscuous and end relationships a lot quicker than
Okay.
somebody that is actually going to work it out.
Okay.
Wait. Hold on.
But
I
you're
got
saying
more.
the
Wait, I
same
got more.
answer.
I got
You're
more.
saying
I
the
got
same
I
answer.
got more. Social media thirst traps. That's what makes women or having multiple guy friends. Um,
What?
what? Yeah, having multiple guy friends.
Okay.
Wait,
How many
hold on.
guy friends
Hold
do
on,
you have?
wait. I'm still going down the list. I'm still going down the list. Wait, I'm still going down
You're
the list.
also, you're saying the same thing in the same
Uh,
in different words. You're
showing
saying the same answer.
having promiscuous clothing on, not respecting yourself. That these are the things that make women, whatever. You know what I mean?
Okay, but MK just answered your question. Without men using women a lot, there will be no whores. And I think that's what I've been trying to say in all these streams. So like people just attack me, but like who who incentivizes whores in our culture? Because I'm 100%
Men,
sure that is exactly. We
it's
don't
men.
create whores. Women don't create
No,
whores.
no, no, no.
Contrary
We
to
we
popular
do. No,
belief, we
we
don't.
create. No, men create whores.
Exactly. So like when people complain about like
We're
oh
the
like
we're whore makers. In,
whole factories, yeah.
yes, yes.
So at the end of the day, like I want to ask men more often, if you don't want to deal with whores, why you keep paying whores attention, giving them your money, liking their pictures on Instagram, paying for their OnlyFans? Because if you
No,
if
and this is where, and I'm glad that you're going with this. It's not men who are complaining about it; it's the other men who are simps. The other men who
Not
don't get
really, because Sims
played.
are happy, right? Sims are
How?
happy men. They are happy. I love what Coach EO says about this. The simp is
I have,
happier than the red pill dude.
dude. I have not given attention to a horse since what
Since 2 years ago.
2019. Like, come on now. Like,
Look,
I
Rad.
haven't liked a big booty pic. I haven't none of that because that's attention. That's free attention. I'm not gonna entertain
Rad.
that.
When was the last time you like do you follow a Kardashian?
No.
Did you follow Larsa Pippen?
Who's that?
Do you follow one of the Amelios?
Who? No, I don't even know who that is.
You probably follow one of these bitches. I can
No, I don't.
guarantee
Who's
you
the
probably do.
no? Who's the Emilios? Who's that?
Look, I'm gonna tell you something.
Okay, okay.
Sims are happier than red pill dudes. Okay, blue pill dudes live a happier life. You want to know why? Because they're not bitter towards the
But
potential.
you
No,
have to.
hold
Okay,
on.
okay, okay.
The potential real. I'm not gonna take that from men. The potential real dangers of dealing with women that will take advantage of them. They go into relationships, right? Thinking the best out of women. So of course, even in their illusion, they have a better life, a better outcome because they're happier than red pill dudes, and that is just a fact.
It's a cross thing. It's a circle for me. Simps create these delusional women, and these delusional women create simps.
How?
Um, Easy by first of all these simps not giving you first of all giving you fake validation. A lot of women think that a like or oh good morning all this other stuff from a simp online that you never met just because you put up a picture of one of your nipples being hard means now that you think that you are on the top status of women when you're actually a 3 or a 4. Give these women fake validation. And because of that, these women are going to start now thinking that they are a 10, that they deserve these top tier dudes, when in reality, no, you should be humble, put your standards a little lower, stop thinking that you're a 10 when you're actually a 3 or a 4, and actually get with an average dude, and everything will be culture. But now these women who are 3 or 4s think that they're in the fucking 10s, 11s, and 12s. Now these dudes down
Oh
here.
my God, 10 to 11,
Now these
12.
dudes, yeah, now these dudes down here who are fucking 5, 4s, and 3s, now they have to resort to simping because they don't know any fucking better, because that's the only way that they'll get actually some feedback from them women. So it comes as a vice versa. But real quick, I want to show this video and then I'm gonna wrap it up. Tell me what you think about it. Denise, I think you're gonna get mad, but it's okay. I like pissing
Oh
people
my
off.
God, here we
Clean. I don't
go.
give a fuck. Call me a sexist. Women should be fucking cleaning. If you come into my house and something is off, fix it. Clean. But because let me tell you something, I'm not gonna think twice if we're out in public and someone fucking assaults you. I'm gonna do something, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna, gotta be a guy, gotta protect her because I'm here with this girl and I'm supposed to be courting her. Why is it that a man's responsibilities are static but a girl's responsibilities are negotiable?
Do you think that's from your personal experiences or in general?
This is my experiences and in general. We have 11,000 plus guys in here almost 2 o'clock in the morning. There's obviously a problem with females.
Then I think
Do you agree or disagree?
I agree. I mean, it's kind of like right now, like amongst the wife content, like what's circulating is like the sexless marriages. Like a man does not take breaks from providing for the family or protecting the family, yet women nowadays take breaks from what we're supposed to do. So yeah, I do agree with that. Now, to reply to what you said, I'm not gonna forget. I love what Morena said with man being frustrated. Look, a man that doesn't get any kitty, that's a frustrated man, right? So like I see that Sims do get laid. That's what they're happy. That's what they are like covering pussy with. I'm not saying they're right. Okay, I'm not saying that what they're doing it's okay. I'm just saying their life is happier. Okay, we have no respect for Sims. Let's just keep it real. I've said it many times. We love nice men, but we don't respect them. We respect, guys with a little toxic mindset, right? So you have to have a little asshole in you. I'm sorry, but it's true.
Yeah.
So with that being said, to a degree, like if you're a complete asshole or you think every woman is trash or there's no good woman out there and you're always in the internet complaining, like you really get no pussy. Hence why you are so thirsty and you're the ones paying OnlyFans. You're the ones subscribing to all these things and you're the ones doing all this liking and licking and all this stuff and flooding the strip clubs. Let's just keep it real. Yeah. I've said it many times. These dudes are the same ones that are complaining are the ones creating whores. Come on, Rad. Come on, Rad.
Okay,
you've been a body in a few girls out there. Come on.
I've been a what? I've been a what?
You are a body on someone's body count.
Of course.
Body counts. Yeah. So don't come at me and tell me that you didn't went out there to have one night stands more than a few times.
And they're like, oh my God, I wish he didn't leave. Oh my God, it was the best.
Let me stop. No, seriously, like look, this
guy. In reality, they're like, why was it so fast? No, I'm just like,
oh my God. Is it in yet? No, seriously, but look. Look, I'm gonna tell you. I'm going to tell you something. I am so sick and tired of promoting nonsense when it comes to men and women, okay? It's the same thing that I said last Saturday. If you're a guy out here listening to bitter old men about, look at Morena, about how men... about how women are 3 or 4s and they're worth nothing and they deserve nothing, and you see that this guy is not married by age 35 and he's still bitching about women, then you need to turn off that guy and just do you, because that guy
he's the issue
has scar tissue. I'm so sorry, but he needs to sit down and do some therapy.
Let me because I'm gonna end it right now. Let me just say, us men, we need to be a little bit more, real also and accountable to what we put out there into the, I'm just saying into the universe, because these women aren't acting up because, we just so happen to do certain things. No, they're acting up for a reason, and
Let me ask you something real
most of the
quick.
time it's our fault, but also they do things that trigger. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's a vice versa type of thing, like a
Let me
circle.
ask you something. Since you said that guys know that that women don't want to get with an average guy, do you think that guys are 100% realistic when it comes to their sexual marketplace value?
I think guys are a lot more realistic than women are.
No, that's not what I asked.
I said
I
yes. I
asked.
said yes. They're realistic. They're more
So,
realistic. Yes.
okay, so if they're realistic, why do we have so many so-called high-value men on our comment sections
What do you mean?
when they're only supposed to be 10%?
We just attract the high value men. What do you want
Oh,
us to do?
come on, Brad.
Um,
People
I
overvalue
I think
themselves.
I think it really depends on the definition of a high value man, because to certain people, certain men think high value men are if you have more, if you've been with more than 100 women, you have
What?
hold on, let me give you the list. Let me give you the list that I've heard. I'm not saying that I agree. I just heard that high value men, certain men think that high value men are you've been with more than 100 women, you have a certain number of in your bank account, you're in a certain shape, physical shape, and that you're in a particular tax bracket that makes you a high value man to certain men. Other men have the opinion of a high value man being a provider, protector, a confidant, so on and so forth. That's where their definition is. I think Kevin Samuel's definition is if other people think that you're a high value man as well, also
You have
be
LinkedIn resume. You
yeah,
make you
if
make you make
six
ten
figures or
thousand dollars a
more
month, $10,000 a month or more.
and something and something something. So a lot of guys have very different definitions. So that's the reason why I think that
Brad,
I
Brad,
think that's the reason why I think that
Brad.
you will find a lot of high value men saying that they're high value men.
Okay, then the
My
same thing can be said.
definition,
The same can be said about women. Women are out here not thinking that they're average because
but this is the
it
difference between
varies from
women.
woman to
But this is the
woman.
difference between women, that men are just telling this to themselves. This is what they're coming about their conclusion on their own. They're not getting external validation like these women are getting. These women are getting external validation from Instagram, from Facebook, from even Snapchat. So these women are getting external validation from strangers that overinflate their value. These men are
Are
just
they
are
overinflating their value if they get more traffic than your average guy? Like, who is responsible? That are women really
no,
delusional?
no.
If
That's the
she
thing. Women are not
exactly,
responsible for that. It's
then we're
these
not delusional.
is these. Of course, it is. You guys are, because
No, you're
if
not.
you believe that, that makes you delusional. If
How
you
is it
believe
delusional when okay,
because
so what does that make a man then that believes that he's high
oh
value
no,
simply because he smells like Axe body spray?
it doesn't make him delusional. It makes him
Confident?
realistic. It make you go king. That's right. That's right. No. The thing is, you have to base that upon what his definition of a high value man is. Now, is his definition close to reality? I don't think it is, because if his definition is just smelling like a high Axe body spray to be a high value man, then his definition is completely wrong. Then no, you know what I'm
Brad,
saying?
majority.
The same way how those women just get a good morning hi comment on IG and a bunch of little hearts and stuff, think that they top shit. You know what I mean?
But they
Doesn't translate to
are.
no, they're not,
You have a
because
fandom. Of course
because
you are.
no, you got a fandom just because
Yeah, if you like, just think about it. If you post a picture of your butt, right?
Uh-huh.
Radical Latinos bot, and
No,
all
no,
of a
no,
sudden,
not me.
your page gets 2 million women saying that they want to spank your butt, right?
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Do you have a fandom?
I just created my fandom, yes.
Exactly. Then that's what's happening to women. They post their butt for the internet, and you have 2 million thirsty dudes that saying they
But
want to spank her.
but
She has a fandom.
this is the difference right here. Just like I believe Kevin Samuel says that the most power a woman can have is to not only maintain a relationship, get married and maintain that marriage, right? These women who are getting the little high or whatever and getting overinflated, they're looking for the top tier dudes. Them dudes are not looking for them whatsoever. So they have to now believe that they're settling down for what they really should be going for, the fours and the threes, because that's what they are. And they're just settling for that. And they don't even care if they want to maintain that relationship. This is the issue. This is what I'm saying. It goes
But
both ways.
who's making this happen?
It
Who's
goes both
creating this
ways.
phenomenon?
Men,
No, Rap.
men are making this happen, but also
Men are
women.
creating this phenomenon. No,
But
they're
also
not.
women are believing this bullshit, and that's
But
what makes.
how can you
That's
not
what
believe
wait,
it?
that's what makes men, not liars, the greatest actors.
Okay, right. Let me let me ask you something.
Okay,
Let's
last
say, for
question because I'm
example,
about to end it. Last
okay,
question.
let's say, for example, that you're going to grab your eraser and shave the middle of your hair, right in the middle, right?
Right through the middle.
And let's say that you're gonna walk out the street with that, and you're gonna take a picture on for the internet, and you post it on your IG, and you have 1 million people, 1 million ladies telling you that they love you. You look so hot. Bad Bunny has nothing on you. Drake has nothing on you.
Yes,
You know,
I will love it.
and then all of a sudden, Kylie Jenner is on your DM asking you to fly you out to LA to have sex with you. And then you have, let's say, Lori Harvey asking you if you want to get flued out, right? And you're getting flew out throughout the whole country to meet these babes, right?
Yeah.
Are you going to get an inflated ego? Are you going to believe that you're hot? Yes or not?
Of course.
Exactly. Then who's responsible for making you believe that?
It will get to the point where I'll get to the point where I see non-shaven dudes be like, "Hey, gotta get at my level." You know what I mean? So yeah, of course.
So who's creating that problem?
Men are, and I said this before. Men are, but also is my dumbass to actually believe that Lori Harvey and all these other women want to just smash me just because I shaved my head. If it wasn't for that, if it wasn't for that, now I'm gonna constantly need to have that joint shaved just so I could appease other people. Fuck out of here. No. So it's my dumbass to actually believing that's going like shit. Okay, now my value has gone up because I just changed my appearance a certain bit, which goes to the whole argument why women wear makeup, is for men's validation and attention.
Yeah, I know I wear makeup for my man. He loves it. I wear exactly the makeup that he loves.
For everyone.
I know.
Okay. No. Listen, I'm out. Listen, everybody, thank you very much for coming in.
Oh, before you close in, Saturday we're going to talk. We're going to have a very special stream every Saturday.
Wait, hold on, excuse me. Don't fucking bogart your fucking. I was gonna literally tell people, hey, Denisse, plug your joint, tell what you have going on. But no, you didn't think I was such a gentleman that I was gonna do that. No, you had to
you're dusty.
You just have to kick in the door and say, hey, by the way, guys, check it. No. Hold up. We're gonna try this one more time. All right, guys, thank you for coming in. But before we go, Denisse, you got anything to plug? You got anything to say?
Okay, we're gonna have special talks every Saturday to test out if I should start a lifestyle channel. Okay, this Saturday we're going to invite guys that are 30 and older to have a conversation. And we're going to sit down, and this episode is going to be called Bachelor's Life, The Talk. So if you want to come in to give your input, if you're a bachelor and looking for answers, if you're a bachelor that wants to share your lifestyle, the pros, the cons, if you're a married man that believes that bachelor life should end, come in this Saturday. We have a nice panel of bachelor dudes from all walks of life and all ages. So make sure you tune in this Saturday, 8 p.m. Pacific time.
Yeah, that'll be that's 11 p.m. Eastern time. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, that sounds interesting. Oh my god. I'm younger than 30, so I wish I would have been. I wish I would be there.
No with the hairline. No with the hairline.
But hey, Lori Harvey gave me validation, so fuck you.
No, stop.
No, but guys,
She
thank
flew
you.
you out.
You flew me out. I'm very cheap, by the way. No, listen, guys, thank you very much for coming in. Remember, all discussions is welcome, so please, in the comment section, go down there and discuss what you guys agree and disagree. With that being said, I'm gonna catch everybody later. Peace.